Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Motivational Monday. And generally, Michelle is here. And so when we would say that, we'd go, woohoo, let's get motivated, woohoo. But as you can see, I am flying solo today. Michelle is on doing some on site training. And this is a first with this company that she's working with. And she is gone for the week. And it's the kind of thing that she really likes to do. So I know she's having a good time. I'm sure she's busy today. So it's just me. It's just me. And what I wanted to talk about today, I thought of several different things. I've got a few things going on that are, on my mind, and I had to pick one. And the one that I decided to pick was endings and beginnings. And there's a few reasons why that is something that is on my mind at the moment. Whenever I think of this idea, there's a song called Closing Time. I'm sure many of you have heard it. And there's a line in there. I thought it was one of the most brilliant lines, uh, you know, ever in any song. And the line goes is every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. And, that's really what has been weighing on my mind lately, mainly because, as many of you know, I'm still a college professor. I have been teaching college classes now. This is my 14th year that I'm finishing at Pitt Johnstown. I did a 1 year visiting at James Madison University before that, 3 years at St. Vincent College. So that's 18 there. One with Thomas University, that's 19. Two, yes, it was two with Flagler College. So was it 21? And then a couple as a graduate instructor. So basically, I've been teaching college classes for about 23 years, I think it is. So getting close to 25 years, big chunk of my life. And the interesting thing about teaching school, college, any level, is in that job, you see the seasons more so than in many other jobs. There's plenty of jobs out there where not much changes as the year progresses. You still have a certain job to do, and you do that, and nothing really changes because it's summertime or it's wintertime or whatever. But when you are a teacher in the school systems, you see it. And we're now at the point where we are close to the end. In fact, this is finals week for us. So as of Saturday, when we have graduation, that's the end of our year. That's the end of our year. And it's always a time for me and my fellow faculty members and our staff, administration, everybody else to look back on what we've accomplished over the last year. So it's our ending, but that ending is the beginning of that 4-month stretch that we have in the middle of the year where we aren't teaching classes. We still have other things that we have to do, but the time is pretty much our own. And it's an opportunity to try new things. It's an opportunity to dive deeper into things that we might have wanted to have done. For some people, it's an opportunity to catch up on the previous year and to start preparing for the next one, because we always know with the seasons, another one is coming. And when we get to the end of August, we will be back at it. I think another reason why this topic has been weighing on me is because of notification not long ago that within very short order, two of my former colleagues passed away. That's in addition to two others who had passed away some time ago. And I was thinking about this the other day, that it's interesting that, I have, like I said, I've been at UPJ for 14 years. And to now have four former colleagues that I knew. Three I knew well. The other one was in a different department that was part of. I was part of that. Our department was part of their division at one point, and then we split off. But I knew him. I'd spoken to him a few times, and it's it's one of those things that makes you think. It makes you stop, and you start to think, "Wow, have I been here that long?" And I have. It doesn't seem like it, but I have been there that long, and like I said, to now have four former colleagues who are no longer with us was a little bit, and especially losing two in very short order. It was a little bit jarring. Like I said, it made me stop and think and reflect on what I'm doing. It's an opportunity to look at what you're doing and say, is this truly my mission? Is this truly why I am here? And I can say unequivocally, yes, I am here to serve as a teacher, to serve as a guide, not just in that capacity, but in my capacity outside of the university. It's also an opportunity to think about, have I accomplished everything that I wanted to? Have I accomplished everything that I could? Have I done my best? And my answer to that would be an unequivocal no. No, in the sense that I certainly haven't accomplished everything that I want to accomplish. I still have a list of things that I need to do. And I'm sure you're the same way. That's one of those things that we have to stop and look at from time to time and say, well, what have we actually accomplished? And are we getting close to our goals? It's also a chance to reflect on where we're spending our time, and are we using it effectively? Because the most precious commodity that we have in this world, besides love, the love we give and the love we receive, is time. And that's another interesting thing, again, reflecting on, where I've been, where I've come to, where I am now, and realizing that this time has passed so quickly. Like I said, I reflect back and realize that I am finishing my 14th year at Pitt Johnstown. The original plan, at least for us, was not to be there for 14 years. But it's amazing what happens. You start to get into a little bit of a comfort zone, and I think I have. So it's a matter of reflecting and trying to figure out, what is it that I have yet to accomplish that I want to accomplish, and what can I do to start moving on those things. And I have started that process of moving towards the things that I have wanted to do for a long time, getting things in place, um, getting ourselves ready for the next phase of our life. And so that's one of the great things about, again, with the position that I have is I have that 4 months off every summer. And it's not a time for resting and relaxing. It can be, some people take it that way. But what it really should be is a time to, again, pursue those things and those opportunities that wouldn't be available during the academic year. And so I'm working on that. We've actually got some exciting projects that we are working on and working towards. And I know we're going to have a lot of fun once we get there. And then, of course, with what Michelle is working on now, that is also a very interesting project that she's working on with, and she's definitely getting into some regular training, and that's one of the things that she absolutely loves to do is train. She is big on training. Um, and again, I guess I am too, as an educator. Essentially, that's what you're doing is training people and educating them and trying to get them to think, trying to get them to open up their minds and consider different ideas, different things. So, yeah, definitely at this ending point for this year. And also thinking again as far as my career in academia, I know at some point that's also going to end. Um, and I think what's really made me reflect on this is one of the colleagues who recently passed away. He had decided to retire, and I had pitched the idea to him because he didn't seem like he was really ready to go. And so I pitched the idea to him that one of the things that we have available to us, I think most schools have this, is where when faculty decide that they want to retire, what they can do is they can go into a semi retirement. And essentially, what they can do is they can cut their course load down. And of course, the pay is cut down on a prorated basis. But they are still able to keep all of their benefits. They're still able to contribute to retirement funds, do that sort of thing. And so this colleague decided to go half time. Um, and the only reason he knew about it, I assume, is because I had mentioned it as the department head. I'd mentioned, this possibility if he wasn't completely ready to go. Unfortunately, he probably should have gone. He signed on for 2 years in that status, and because of his health, he only managed to make it for 1 year. And when he did completely retire, I must say I felt bad about him sticking around for that extra year because I think it was tough on him. And I don't know that he would have done it if I hadn't have mentioned it. But again, it was looking at a situation where it seemed like at the time maybe he wasn't completely ready to go. After that first year, he was ready to go. He finished up, and he got, I think, about 4 years in retirement before he passed away. But when you look at that and you realize that the time is fleeting, like I said, it goes fast. And so, it's one of the things that I try to emphasize to my students, especially the ones that are getting ready to graduate, because they truly are moving to that beginning. Okay. Their end is their academic career, at least up to the undergraduate level. So they're truly at an ending. And now they are looking at a fresh beginning. And one of the things that I have been emphasizing to them is don't go out there and simply find work so you can pay the rent and pay the bills, especially if it's work that you don't particularly like. Telling them that, one of the things that they need to do while they're still young, they've got their degree, they can find work. But what they need to do is pursue a career, pursue their passion. On occasion, I'll have a student come to me and say, "Hey, I got this other thing that I want to do, but it has nothing to do with the degree that I just received. And I know that if I go and I do this thing that's my lifelong dream, that my friends and family are going to say horrible things to me, that they're going to discourage me from doing it, and that they might even make fun of me, especially if I go and I try to do this thing and it's not successful." So, because that's my concern. What if I go do this and I fail? And my response every single time, and this may freak some parents out, is I tell them, but what if you succeed? What if you succeed? What if you succeed beyond your wildest imagination? Because somebody has to. We have to have musicians. There's going to be actors, performers. We have to have heads of business. We unfortunately have to have politicians. We need people in all of these areas of endeavor. And the folks who have succeeded in those areas, they went for it. They decided to go for it. They had a vision and they pursued it with an unyielding desire and a passion, and they succeeded. Now, yes, there's many others who have tried to do the same thing that they did not succeed at that level. But nothing says that you have to succeed like, I don't know, Tom Hanks to have a successful career in acting. There's plenty of performers out there who you may not know, and they have made a fine career doing that. They didn't make it to the superstar level that they were hoping to achieve, but they still managed to carve out a fine career and do some great work. And so I tell these students, I had one in particular, I remember he came to me because he had an opportunity to go coach baseball. He was a baseball player, but he realized he wasn't going to become a major league baseball player. He was very self-aware, but he had started to do some coaching while he was a player. He started mentoring, uh, younger players, and also coaching. I think he was coaching assistant coach at a high school, and so he had an opportunity to go to. I want to say he was going to Florida to actually initially work for free as a coach with a team. And I don't remember which team it was or what level. I'm assuming it was, some lower level. And he said that his parents and friends had discouraged him from doing that. And I asked him, is this your dream? Is this what you really want to do? Is this going to be the beginning for you? And he said, yes. And I said, you intend to pursue this with a burning desire to be successful at it? He said, yes, it's all I want. And I told him, in that case, go for it. Don't wait. Don't worry about what everybody else is going to say. It's your life. Okay. This is your beginning. You've had your end. You finished college. Now it's your beginning. Go do what you want to do. Okay. Because you don't want to get to the point someday where you're looking back and you're going, what if I had done that? How could my life have been different? What if I had chosen that beginning? How would my ending have looked? Okay. Take the advice of Stephen Covey. Start with the end in mind. You have that beginning, you're aiming for that ending. And understand that once you get to that ending, then it's time for a new beginning. So that's what's been on my mind over the last, probably 2 weeks. And again, we're just at that point where school year ends, and this happens to me every year, where I get into this slightly melancholy state and start to think about, how did the previous year go? What am I gonna, what have I got coming up? And getting prepared for the beginning of the next stretch and the next phase. So keep all that in mind. Again, every time that you end something, there should be a new beginning to something else. It's when you reach that point where there is no new beginning to something else that you're definitely towards the real end. And I don't think any of us look forward to that final ending. So that's what I've got to say today. Thanks for joining me. I hope you got something out of it. Michelle should be back next week, and I have no idea. She'll have some new experiences to talk about, I'm sure. So we'll have some fun. And I'll be a bit at the beginning of my summer break. So I know on next Monday, I'll definitely be smiling from ear to ear, just because we have made it successfully through another school year. And every year at the end of it, I look back and go, how in the world did we get through that? Because it seems like with our I'm not going to say just our department and our division, but sometimes seems like the entire school that it feels like we are under resourced sometimes. And somehow we always seem to make it happen. And I think that's a mark of a good team and having a good set of people. So hopefully your organization's the same way. All right. So that's it. And look forward to seeing you all next week with Michelle here. Yay. We will be back to it. I don't know if we have any special guests next week. She's the one who lines that up. But if we don't, then it'll just be us bantering back and forth and talking about what she was doing this week, because I'm sure she'll have some great stories to tell us. So, all right. Take care, everyone. Bye.